We the People is a community mod of Civilization 4 Colonization. Portugal starts with a seasoned scout, but the scout opening will give anyone a fast map search and the best chance at early money. Modding expands original game code to create new choices, map options for example. Modders have always liked Civ 4, and colonization code is exceptionally accessible. Historic quotes or game tips come on screen while the game is loading. Once I see the ship on the ocean, I like to make a hard save. This is a complicated game. Things can go wrong. Expect surprises. There are 3 steps to the scout opening. First, build a village hall. Political points from the hall will give us Founding Father Jacques Marquette with another scout plus bonuses. Those scouts will discover enough treasure and gold to get us a galleon. Your competitors, either AI or multiplayer, are trying to do the same thing. That means you need to settle quickly, somewhere with food and lumber at the very least, while avoiding shallow ocean tiles. If you see a shipwreck with an actual ship, not just a few floating boards, there's an excellent chance you'll find a survivor, exactly who you need to make lumber back in your settlement. The Navigate promotions give ships a better chance to discover shipwrecks and coastal native villages. That's a good way to get the other promotions. We the People is an active mod. New events continue to be added. There have been major changes to terrains, professions, yields, special units, and more. There are new rewards for accomplishments. Modding first and foremost is a programming challenge, but game quality also depends on supporters who do translations and graphics. Settle beside the best resource tiles, not on top of them. If there's not enough food, settlers start leaving town. Without workers, production collapses. We the People is a good way to get familiar with GitHub. GitHub also can help you develop your own mod, but be warned, it can get complicated. Many team members have worked over the years to make We the People the largest and best mod ever. It started in 2008 with TAC, the authentic colonization, created by upwards of 30 contributors. In 2012, that expanded into Religion and Revolution. Several contributors to those mods, along with new team members, continue today to work on We the People. When your ship reaches the colored ocean tiles, it can go to Europe or to Africa, vanishing and reappearing there. Movement is the key skill for scouts. Take Explorer promotions first. This scout is going to loot a burial ground. Before you recoil in horror, remember that back in London, England, the bodyguard in Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities is a grave robber, selling the bodies to medical students. We need 258 political points. We have 15. We're lucky. The elder statesman is our best source of political points.
Certo.
We have a treasure. If we find 4 treasures and get 2,000 in gold, the king will offer us a deal on a galleon.
Pronto para ação.
The rebels have been dealt with. That's why earlier we chose the conquistador. One of the most time-consuming aspects of game design is creating a new map. Random maps need to be updated when new features, such as large rivers, are added. Geographically accurate maps can show historic features and First Nations traditional territories, but after the first playthrough, they're predictable. Of course, players can mod their own game however they like. World Builder is a good place to start. Mounted military units also benefit from starting with Explorer 1. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Units heal twice as fast in settlements. Modding is more than having an idea to make the game better. It's knowing how to put that idea on the screen, working in harmony with existing gameplay. An idea alone is just work for somebody else. That's why the team all agrees before major changes are added. Not many games are as open to being modded as Civilization IV Colonization. For example, in 2008, multi-core processing was just starting to be available. Back then, the AI players would test each possible route in sequence to choose the best one. Today, We the People is programmed to use all available cores in parallel, with a dramatic improvement in game speed. The higher up, the further the scout can see. Until the village hall is finished, the elder statesman is nothing special. He needs that bully pulpit to be effective. We the People is open to many strategies: exploring, settling, trading, war, which ultimately interact. Each game is always different. .45 for Jacques Marquette. A long way to go. It's good to have a straightforward opening strategy. This is a complicated game. Modding has a natural tendency to keep making it more complicated. The jaguar's lair has a hidden treasure. We have 2 now. We the People, following after earlier mod TAC, the authentic colonization, includes history threads on Civ Fanatics and Discord. Players get into detailed discussions about the impact of certain colonial personalities. Technology from that era is another popular topic. $87 still isn't much, but with the elder statesman in the village hall, political points will multiply. $133, that's looking better. As parts of the game become more complex, trading yields, for example, using info arrays becomes the fast way to search really long lists. This is just one example of how programming a mod can be more complex than putting together a fixed game.
Do que precisa.
Jacques Marquette will give a bonus to all scouts, so the more we have, the better.
Vamos!
$170, 2/3 there. The third treasure. We now have political points from the elder statesman and from the carpenter. 207. $253. We have the fourth treasure. We're going to get Jacques Marquette on the next turn, unless one of our competitors gets him first. That could easily happen, because the other colonial nations count before we do. We have Jacques Marquette. We have 4 treasures. Now we need a galleon. Only a galleon can carry treasures to Europe. Our next step is to get 2,000 in gold. Gold's up to 421. $665. 1,003. 1139. Before loading a new worker from the Europe dock, double-clicking gives a choice of specialties. This is a settler who comes with tools, provisions, and horses. We need money fast, so we're going to trade the horses. The scouts need to find gold. This time, the king is dealing strictly in cash. Ruins and new villages offer many valuable rewards, a treasure, a failed trader, or a native mercenary, and those are all good for the future. But right now, cash is the only thing that matters to the king. After explorer promotions, the scout wants veteran 1 and 2. Veteran 2 is prerequisite for most military promotions. 1414. The ship sells its cargo in Europe, bringing us up to 1,710 gold. $1884. We're over the 2,000 mark. We should see the galleon on the next turn. The king offers the galleon. We happily buy it. Now it's time to develop new resources, settle new towns, and manufacture goods. We need supplies for trade and for local consumption. The scouts continue to explore. Their discoveries help finance other developments. The galleon delivers treasures and other goods to Europe and brings back supplies. As the treasures move into your town to be combined, the scout opening is complete.